This might end up being one of the most disliked videos that I've recorded, at least in a little while. But I posted a short about this that, got downvoted to hell, talking about how I believe that AI wrappers are actually perfectly fine. I think that AI wrappers are perfectly useful tools and that there is slop out there, like garbage software that's completely useless. But writing off AI wrappers entirely, just as a business structure, is really stupid. So let me go into why, and let me go ahead and have a disclaimer that we're going to be talking about all AI wrappers, but there are garbage AI wrappers. Let's be honest here, okay? There's some garbage software that is being written by folks who just kind of want to cash in on the AI craze, and that's fine. In my opinion, you can criticize the software itself, you can criticize the purpose of the software, but you really can't criticize people for cashing in because it works and people are using it and they are getting use out of it and they might abandon it the next month, but like, don't hate the player, hate the game. That's just kind of how it goes. So there is slop software. Okay, we're not going to be talking about that. So slop software is just kind of completely useless and there's no purpose to it and it's written badly and it's just garbage. So garbage written badly, no real purpose. But there is good AI wrappers. So good wrappers. There are good AI wrappers out there that are actually useful. And, Peter Levels, who his account has blown up recently. Okay, so that was the right one. So Photo AI is an AI wrapper. And I'm not trying to say that in a bad way. It is an AI wrapper. And Peter Levels has done a ton of work on this. He went really, really in depth into it on Lex Friedman's podcast, talking about, all of the different tweaks that he had to do. And I actually got into it with somebody on Twitter who said that they could definitely build photo AI on their own in like a week. And that's just not going to happen. But, let's let him try. But Photo AI is an AI wrapper. It wraps all of these different models and allows you to interface with it in a really, really easy to use and intuitive way. That's awesome. I don't think anybody would really argue that Photo AI is slop software, is like a garbage AI wrapper. But for some reason, whenever it's text-based stuff, people just lose their minds. They're just like, oh, well, all you're doing is prompt engineering and slapping a price on it. Yeah, duh. It works and people find it useful. And one of the bigger things is, I'll kind of give my reasoning here. Works, useful, saves time, written well, people actually use it. Okay, so there are good wrappers out there that folks are using that save people time, blah, blah, blah. But the thing that I kind of argue about AI wrappers is that we've got these base models. We've got this, GPT-4. We've got Flux. We've got all of these different all of these different models. So models, okay, and we've got different ways to interface with those. Okay, so we've got the actual APIs, right? So the actual APIs. This is stuff like the chatgpt interface that we use. So the actual APIs. Okay, and the wrappers are wrappers around the APIs. Now, we don't complain about the APIs. Obviously, everybody needs an API to work with. Okay? For some reason, adding an extra layer on top of those APIs is what people are complaining about. I think that's silly. Okay, so the API is a wrapper around the model, the wrapper is a wrapper around the API. We have to use different interfaces to interface with the lower level. So we talk a lot about lower level system engineering stuff on this channel. We've got the Windows API, which wraps all of these different things, deep within the Windows operating system. You really don't want to see what you would have to do to interface directly with the Windows operating system without these APIs. So we are perfectly fine with those APIs. We're less fine with these APIs. That seems silly to me, okay? What these APIs are doing is giving us another way to interface with these APIs that interface with the models. They're giving us another mechanism by which we can make AI useful. And that's going to be what we need in the future, okay? We've got all of these complicated models that require all of this tweaking. We've got all of these chat, based models that require all of this prompt engineering. I don't want to have to spend my time doing that, okay? I use Cursor, for example. Cursor is an IDE that has a lot of these LLM models built into it, or at least wrappers around the APIs, which are wrappers around the models themselves. So whenever I'm using Cursor, that itself is a wrapper, okay? Nobody would argue that it's silly to have an IDE that has AI integrated into it. If you do find that silly, I'm not really interested in your opinion. That's perfectly fine. You go off and talk about your kind of Luddite beliefs, and you go do that somewhere else. For me, though, it's super useful having that model built in. That is how I am interfacing with artificial intelligence. Photo AI is another way of interfacing with artificial intelligence. There are tons of different ways that you can interface with artificial intelligence outside of just the base model APIs, okay? And it's fine. Everything's going to be okay. Everybody has a different way that they want to interface with AI, and what's important is finding new and innovative ways to interface with those APIs. Now, here's what I'm not saying. What I'm not saying is that we should view wrapper developers equivalent to AI developers. Okay, they're not the same. The brain children that work at OpenAI are completely different from the mostly business devs or mostly front ends kind of web devs who write wrappers. Okay, I don't want anybody to think that I'm calling those people equivalent. AI developers are working on the foundational models that we are writing wrappers for. Wrapper developers are just finding business cases to apply those models to. That's fine that those are two different classes of developer. I'm not even necessarily saying that AI developers are better than wrapper developers, because the word better is kind of like a loaded term. They're probably more technical. They're probably, there's a higher prevalence of PhDs in this group than there is in this group. But pretending like we don't need to find business cases for AI, that's silly. Pretending like it is inherently negative to find business cases for AI and create a wrapper for that is silly. Again, let's go back here. I'm not saying that this category of wrappers doesn't exist. There is slop out there. There's garbage software out there. There's stuff that is just plainly a really, really cheap and silly attempt at monetizing AI. But let's not pretend like there is no reason to create software that wraps AI and makes it more useful faster for a different demographic of people. Okay? Now, here's the part that a lot of people are going to get angry about. In my opinion, if you have not done anything, okay, if you haven't built anything, shut the fuck up. Okay? A lot of the people that I see who are talking about building wrappers being bad, a lot of the people that I see who have talked about, oh, this is stupid, these people are just trying to cash in, I don't know who you are, and I don't know what you've built. So why should I listen to your opinion on people who are actually building things, are actually putting themselves out there, are actually developing technology, while you're just sitting on Twitter being angry about stuff? I really, really have started paring down the amount of people that I will actually interface with and the amount of people that I'll actually listen to talk about different things. So the people that I respect, A, are putting their opinions out there and then finding out if they're wrong or not. B, are actually building things in the spaces that they're talking about. I used to hate on AI wrappers all the time. Now I'm actually trying to build one and kind of figure out how the technology works and how to do prompt engineering and all of that. The people that I am going to continue listening to are the people who are actually building stuff. I really, really, really don't want to hear your opinion on any of this AI wrapper stuff if you're not building anything. I don't even care if it's an AI wrapper. Don't build an AI wrapper if you hate it, but go and build something, because what you're telling me about your opinion, if you're not building anything, if you're not putting out anything, if you're not shipping anything, what you're telling me is I have the right to hate on something and not give anything in return. Okay? I am above these people even though I'm not doing anything and they're actually doing stuff. Okay? unless they are doing something that's actively predatory, which there's building an AI wrapper is not predatory. Unless they're doing something that's actively predatory, I am going to take the opinion of somebody who is actually shipping code over somebody who has not built anything 9.9.9 times out of 10. Okay, that's where I'm at this point. So if you're not building anything, shut the fuck up. If you would like to talk crap about people who are developing AI wrappers, go and build something. Then maybe I'll listen to you. But I tend to think a lot of the folks who are talking shit about AI, wrapper developers, once they actually start building stuff, especially in the web space, and they realize that it's not that easy to do, or at least to build and market something and build an actual business case, they're probably going to be a lot quieter. I that's just my bet. They're probably going to be a lot quieter. This has been a 12-minute rant that isn't going to go anywhere else, but that's really about it. Just stop hating. Just let people build stuff. Let people ship stuff. If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. It's all good. That's the free market, baby.